as per its style of management. Lots of filing cabinets full of documents, the value of which may be questionable to some. Brand new telephone system there, worth a couple of grand. Samsung DCS 816. Gets you about 2 extensions, which is like a telephone itself, an extension. System, the grey box on the wall back there, like this one. There you go. That's about 2 grand's worth. 1,650 for the installation. More for BT for the conversion. Radio transmitter. It's what they call a base office, where they expect people to come to the window to get cabs or drugs or whatever is available, I suppose. What can I tell you? Not worth much with 9 drivers, but there you go. And a quick look at the cabbie system, going from the desktop, which is Windows, now to DOS. There we go, there she blows. So now let us come in a bit on that one. Different. F1, F2, that's your cache docket, simple. Escape, escape, F1, F6. Well, it would have been F6 if I pressed F6. And now we get a view of the jobs we've covered this shift. It's like database list view. So you see there, from 19 Lansdowne Road, from the Doreen Celeste Public House to Royal College Street, from Heathrow Terminal 1, coming back to Archway at 28 minutes past 8 and so on, landing time there, and so forth. And escape, escape, F1, and now F10. A view of jobs that have yet to be covered. Those highlighted red in the centre are for people carriers. Those highlighted red at the outside are for estate cars. That's it for now from Tara. Facing the Samsung 12 key unit telephone, the 12 keys being those on this right hand side, which are programmable, and then of course you have your 0 to 1 dialogue keys, and various buttons: hold, answer, release, TRSF, which means transfer, recall for PABX stuff, DND, do not disturb, speaker, memory, and redial. To start a programming session, you press transfer. You enter the number 200 to enable customer programming. You enter the passcode, 4-digit PIN number. It says now disable customer programming. We want to enable it, so we enable it. Press TRSF again. Now she's got it. Now TRSF code, say what, 502. The length of time it'll take before she forwards to another extension whilst this one is ringing. That is, she will give the code to another extension. Most of the codes here are 3 digits. Some, such as those in the hundreds, can be accessed without the password, without the 4-pin number, 4-digit number. Others must have it. For example, TRSF 301 must have it. That allows us to alter the COS, as it says, class of service. At the moment we cannot phone out here beyond local, national, mobile. So we'll try America 9001, and she won't have it beyond that. No, she's not having it. Okay. If we change the COS, or class of service, for this station, day 02 becomes 01, night 02 becomes 01, then we can phone America or anywhere. Just to give an example. This is just a basic overview of how one might do these things. In the lesser programming, those that do not require the password security, TRSF 111, you can now look at a different ringtone, as common like you get in your mobiles. TRSF 114, the volume of the ring, or the volume of this says station volume, so it'll only affect this particular extension. It'll have no effect on any other. TRSF 102. Remember, 502 gave us a choice of how long this one will ring, extension 202, before forwarding to anywhere. Now, where it might forward to, nowhere, cancel the forward. I'm pressing the volume plus minus key now as a cursor key. To number 1, everybody call the other extension. This one won't ring at all. Number 2, if busy, call the other extension. If no answer, call the other extension. If busy and no answer, call the other extension. Or number 5, an external number, whereby all the lines beginning 0207 281 4343 on 2 lines, 4 channels, and tripping over onto the DDI lines which begin 0207 561 6790 to 6799. That's 10 of those. Looking at that, if you have other lines, if you have other numbers, remote call forwarding 0208 340 9696, free phone 0800 781 9711, and 2 other BT numbers which are themselves DDI, that is direct dial-ins, 0207 281 8181, 0207 281 6666. All of these ring on this extension, and furthermore they ring on that one if not picked up on the first. Each extension has a value of about 135 plus VAT on today's date, April 15th 2003. Okay, so now the extensions, if we forward them to external by pressing one button here, such as that, we must of course tell it what external number we wish it to go to, another cab office, my mobile, or whatever, and leave the office. Whenever anybody rings here, it will not be heard here, it'll ring on my mobile or the other cab firm. This is the beginning of a sophisticated system. Can support immediately up to about 16 extensions without further severe hardware modification, severe in cost and in the doing of. And it can also support AOM, add-on module. Put another 48 keys here. About £230 plus VAT to supply. Probably another 70 or 80 to fit. You'll be needing a new printed circuit board, or daughter card as they like to call it in this telecom section, inside the grey box. You can also have AA auto attendant, which gives us features like to make a booking, press button 1, to get the price, press button 2, etc. To speak to the operator, press button 3. For that sort of thing, you want your auto attendant voicemail set up. Again, about 530 plus VAT, another 150 plus VAT to fit. The trouble with these phones and their more common big brother Nortel's Norstar Meridians series M7324N, etc. These type of things, easy enough to program when you get in there. Just select the 4 digits you want for the type of feature you want. That's okay. Well, on the computer you make a mistake, you get a blue screen of death. That's the blue screen white text telling you press any key to continue. Usually doesn't work. Or press Ctrl Alt Delete to restart. Although not so much in Windows XP, I must say, as this is. But up to Windows Millennium, certainly a problem and a hassle. When it comes to something like the telephone, however, the mistake is expensive, because the mistake takes your customer offline. That is, they can neither make outgoing calls nor receive incoming calls. That is a problem, believe me. If it's a business customer, it's a hell of a problem. This is where care has to be taken not to do anything to dislodge the trunk lines or CO company lines coming in, the actual physical exchange lines. They must be programmed correctly, or not at all is better, if not correctly. That's the trouble. So again, we go back to our major program, TRSF. It's saying enter the program ID 200. Passcode, in this case 4589. Number 0, I can use the volume control as a cursor or the numbers. Number 1 will enable, but press TRSF again. And now, again, to look at, say, something else, 728. It's giving me a chance there. Do I wish to put names on these caller display clip, caller line identification presentation? Don't ask me about /, that's me. The first number there in the store, and then you have 2, 3, 4. In fact, I'm going to speed up. 5, 8. Is there a 5, 8? There certainly is, and so on. So you get all this stuff here. In fact, this machine, she's showing me a name now, that's been programmed. Brian in Wedmore Gardens. Not a huge amount of digits, but still, as a customer, we know who he is. And now if you look at another system, the Cabby system here on the computer, not yet connected to the phone system, by the way, when it comes up, and it has, on my cash docket, and the pin number for Brian, rather difficult to remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And where are we? Well, you see, the problem here is Brian was in Wedmore Gardens. He's now moved to Newington Green. However, it's not the end of the world. He still gets picked up, and life goes on. There you have the nuts and bolts. Cold popping is always possible. That is the penultimate connection there between the phone and the computer. Software for this kind of thing can be very bad in terms of expense. £2,000 is cheap. 7,000 is common. Why? It is the limited thing. You see, you can't sell it in volume. Won't appear on the shelves of PC World being offered for $49.99 with maybe a few games thrown in free of charge, unfortunately. However, there are options such as Blues 2000, intended for other purposes but can be used. Hardware to connect is just cables, really. COM1 type cables are common, no pun intended. There may be a grey box containing a small microprocessor to allow one to talk to the other. This kind of machine, you see, has 2 channels on your you can't just put a telephone number and a name in the phone book side and then when they ring expect that name to show up, because the caller logging or caller ID is a separate channel. You must program that also. So they call me MP. They put me in the phone book as MP, my mobile, but on the incoming side they put me as M. Prendergast, my proper name, and that's what shows up when I call. 2 channels. Each channel can hold 600 numbers. However, in practice they are shared among the extensions. So this one has grabbed hold of 200 numbers each on each channel, out and in, and so have the other extensions, with 200 more spare out and in for the next extension to be fitted. That'll do for now. Thank you.
Boys on his way. Alright, it's on the way, yeah? No problem.
No
problem.
I don't know why they do that.
Alright, honey. Bye.
It's too